Sup, everybody? This is Ryan. This is BingeBros. That's Hunter, and
It's me.
Yes, and we are going to be starting the very first episode of BingeBros with the very first game of the Final Fantasy series, Final Fantasy number 1.
Numero uno.
And originally, obviously it's just Final Fantasy. Interesting factoid for you, it was called Final Fantasy because Squaresoft was going under in 1987, and they came out with this one last game as kind of a farewell to their company. They called it their Final Fantasy. And
No way!
Oh, I know! And the franchises took off, everything became so amazing, they got lots of money, and they just kind of ran with the whole concept of the turn-based RPG. And
Which is a great formula. I love it. Love it.
yeah, there's some debate as to whether or not it's a good idea to let it go the way they're going to be doing with Final Fantasy 15. They're basically restructuring the whole game engine, but I, for one, am glad to have had Final Fantasy in my life for so long. And
Same.
I don't mind if they want to change it up for a new generation of gamers, then go for it. I mean, everybody's really into more real-time RPGs like, Counter-Strike, Halo, and that sort of thing. So
Skyrim's actually a very popular one.
yeah. So if Final Fantasy wants to step into this new generation of console gaming, then that's fine by me. I don't really see anything wrong with it. But we're not playing that right now. We're playing Final Fantasy 1. What have you got in front of us, Hunter?
We got 4 optional characters that we could pick from out of 6 classes, which is pretty sick. Okay, we can name them, we can choose their classes, all that fun stuff.
So much variety.
Oh, I know, right? So much. So, I don't really want to go into detail of each one of them, but mainly White Mage heals, Black Mage does damage,
Mm-hmm.
Red Mage can do both. Do both.
But they don't do the high level stuff.
That is true. Yes, Red Mage cannot do the high level White Magic and the high level Black Magic. Monk is just bare knuckle, just punches people to death. Thief is super speedy, steals things, kills people, and Warrior is just brawn and brutally murders everyone. Pretty sick like that. So I was thinking we would go with Red Mage and Monk, because I don't need a full-time White Mage. Not necessary. Pretty sick. And for names, where do you want to go for names?
Well, you notice how the Red Mage looks kind of like if Sephiroth went back in time to start a franchise, and he decided to wear a dapper hat.
Yep, incognito.
Yeah,
Dude, we're gonna name him Seth then. We keep it short because Sephiroth's not gonna fit. Not even close. Too big of a name. Sebg. I'll go. Oh, there we go. Sweet. And then Black Mage we can name Barrett because he's black.
Yeah. That's racist, but go for it. I don't actually care.
You took a while to
notice his hands. You notice his hands are actually white, right? Like
no, it's
like if he really is Barrett and he came back in time to follow Sephiroth, he put on white gloves on purpose to avoid being black in Final Fantasy because they didn't have black people for the first 6 games.
Wow. Well, he's in disguise too. He'll be in disguise. These ones I'm just gonna randomly pick. I don't really care. Really, it's just
Gorn.
Gonna get right in. Gorn, you want to do Gorn?
Gorn from Star Trek.
He's from Star Trek?
No, Gorn is an alien race in Star Trek.
Oh, I never
do Cinna.
Cinna? Okay, I haven't. Oh gosh,
no, you skipped it.
I skipped it. Yeah, I seriously have not watched the old Star Trek, so I don't know.
Cinna monk, get it? Cinna, he's spicy.
Cinna monk. He's a spicy monk. Okay, you want to read these, Ryan? Awesome.
Yes, the fateful intro. The world lies shrouded in darkness. Go ahead and speed it up. Can you do that?
Speed it.
Because this thing takes forever.
I don't really want to though.
Well, then you read it. It takes forever.
But no, because if I speed it up,
the winds die. Because see how they illustrated the wind dying? They went to a desert. And showed the sand blowing.
Oh wait, no, I already know.
That's a cute little town.
Yeah.
The seas, Rage.
The seas, Rage. I love English.
That's a form of dance. It's reggae dance.
I have not heard of that dance.
The earth decays.
So it just turned like a greener, brownish, brown or greener.
Well, decayed. So, but the people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment, instead of doing anything to solve their own problems. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. All over the place.
Everywhere.
After a long journey, 4 young travelers did at last appear, and in the hand of each was clutched a crystal. Because they were raking.
Oh, they clutched that.
Where do you think they
Blue,
were?
yellow,
Where do you
green,
think they
red.
found the crystals? They could do a prequel game for Final Fantasy of how the 4 travelers got together. That would be pretty cool.
I would actually like that. I mean,
So-
they have to be 2D though. 2D turn-based. To, you know, go back to the nostalgia. Okay.
So welcome to the overworld. Rather than do any backstory for their characters, Final Fantasy decided to just jump right into the action, giving you the characters preset, pre-recorded, ready to go.
I think actually people like that. I think that's why they kind of liked the game, was they were just thrown into it.
Yeah,
Thrown into the action.
And so we're basically just going to be grinding for a bit to get some GP.
Get some money.
Or actually, I guess it's called Gil.
Yeah. God, you're so old. You had the old...
Back when I was a kid, you know, when I was born a year before the very first Final Fantasy came out. But back when I was a kid, it was called GP. Like, there was this issue in translation. Japan says it's called Giru, and they're thinking, oh, GP, gold points. Okay, we'll call it that instead.
Make it easy.
Now go make me a sandwich, Sally. And instead, they called it GP. And then when they changed it back to Gil with Final Fantasy VII, I thought, because I was young and apparently I think these things, I thought that Gil was fish related somehow, and that gold points were still going to come back eventually. You just
Didn't
had to
have
kill
2
the
L's.
item. Well, no, but they cut off a lot of things.
Oh,
And,
that's true, actually.
like in Final Fantasy IV, or back when I was a kid, it was Final Fantasy II. Instead of Leviathan, they cut it down to Levitan.
Levitan?
Yeah, when they translate this stuff, a lot of stuff gets lost.
Actually, that's true. In the 4 Fiends with Final Fantasy IV, they have, like, Mylon Z as Scarmillion, and then, like...
Mylon Z.
Mylon... No, literally, that's what it is in the SNES version.
Coming up on our next episode of Mylon Z.
Mylon.
I'll get you, my pretties.
Final Fantasy
Dude,
IV,
Dude, you got a
Ball
monk.
crossover.
He uses his fist. Unequip that
Oh,
stab.
I'm sorry, you're right. Hey, at least they gained a level, right? You know what I mean?
Stena gained a level.
Yes!
He's even spicier than before.
Oh god. Oh wait, I can equip that on the black guy. Yeah. Equip it on the beautiful black mage. Well, I actually just gained a level, so I don't really need to grind anymore. I'll just last battle, and then I'll go to the town.
He is a proud, beautiful black mage.
But he's a woman. Secretly.
He could be.
Well, yeah, because, you know, like,
Can't see.
you don't
her
really
face.
see... Yeah. You don't really see any gender,
You
like...
you just assume it's a guy because he casts destructive magic.
There you
And
go.
That's totally sexist.
Ryan, that triggers me.
Yeah,
You're triggering me, Ryan.
I'm totally.
How dare you play this
Yeah,
game?
that was a microaggression. I apologize.
That was... Did you see how much damage that monk did, dude?
Yeah.
Like, when you unequip it, like everything,
Monks
he
are
just
badass.
gets... Just brutally murders. It's funny, because whenever you get equipment and you optimize his, like, equipment, it just equips him with no weapon, but he's better with fists, so I don't... When I was a kid, every time I played the game, I always thought getting him a weapon was always good. Like, these nunchucks, I thought it was always good, but no. Dude, fist.
That's, you
are
know
for
why? It's
real.
because it's class warfare. They think the haves are always better than the have-nots. Get it?
The have-nots?
It's better to have something than not have it.
Oh, I see.
You're not very.
I'm
bright.
not bright, bro. I'm sorry.
You don't understand social things like I do.
Ryan, you're more and more sociable.
Totally.
Totally. So I'm gonna heal up here because I just did some terrifying battles with those goblins.
He lost his health, and in order to regain it, he's taking a nap. Because in Final Fantasy, you don't have stomachs.
You don't eat. Or drink, actually. You don't do anything. You just attack, kill, and
you can
sleep.
pretend to eat, but really, and the only way you need to heal yourself is to take a brief nap. So the next time you get in a fight with that local gang living down your street, bothering the neighbors, you go ahead and take a nap first. Don't eat anything. Just take a nap first, and you'll be good to go. As long as you're equipped with your robe and your lucky staff.
All the sick equipment. All you need.
What's it called when you go outside and you role play in
LARPing?
LARPing?
Yeah.
You can go LARP in front of that gang. Like
They wouldn't
there's
mind.
there's the Crips, the Bloods, and the LARPers.
The fun.
No, the Crips, the Bloods, and the Knights of Aragon.
Didn't Aragon suck?
I don't know. Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, I thought the series.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole point, is that they're going to get themselves killed because they think they can fight gangsters.
I see. That makes sense.
So we mentioned this earlier. Red mages, they can use a little bit of each, but they can't use the really powerful spells. In this game, usually, like in the newer games, you gotta learn spells, but in the previous Final Fantasy, you could just buy them, so...
With money.
Yeah, so they really were all about the money in these games. Like,
It's all about the money.
you could dominate as long as you had enough gil.
Gilgamesh. It's a reference to Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh.
I knew it the whole time. The whole time. It's really cool because these only cost like 50 gil.
Why
which
did
is
you think
not
for
that
your
much.
black mage?
Huh? I did.
What'd you get?
Oh, let's see the magic I got. So I got Cure, Protect, and Thunder for the red mage. So Cure obviously cures people. Protect, it raises your defense for a character. And Thunder just does lightning damage.
It harnesses the power of Zeus to smite your enemies.
Liam Neeson.
Release the Kraken.
Then we got Fire, Sleep, and Thunder. Which, Fire just does fire damage. Thunder does thunder
Sleep.
damage.
Sleep actually is something that a lot of college guys use in bars. It's a very powerful spell that if you're caught using it can get you in a lot of trouble. So know what you're doing ahead of time.
Maybe this is why it was relatable to Kaylin. And you. Because you guys,
We were in
college.
college when we were playing this.
Oh, you guys were, I promise. I know your ages. You guys are like 50.
No.
Well, 56. About.
No.
What does this guy have to say? Sage Lucan said something about finding the crescent moon. And he left. Okay, I don't... That did...
That moon is special. It's a crescent.
Yay! That had no significance to us, so I don't care. What do you have to say? I once lived far to the east of here, in the harbor city of Provoca. Oh! Yes, the Pirate's Den place. That, we're gonna be visiting that later.
Provoca. Sounds Russian.
Provoca! That wasn't Russian. Sorry, that was a terrible accent.
The king is searching for the prophesied warriors of light. Those crystals! You must see the king at once.
It's funny, he was blocking, so we couldn't even walk past him, so no matter what, we'd have to talk to him.
Welcome, travelers. I am told you carry crystals. Is this true? Do they vibrate? Yes, they do!
Hold them out in the air and show!
It is just as Lucan's prophecy foretold. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come all over the place. I'm never going to stop using that.
You're never gonna...
Chancellor. Oh, sorry. Your Majesty, we cannot be certain that these are the warriors foretold by the prophecy. I like this guy.
Yeah,
He's skeptical. He's like, okay, so they have some shiny rocks. You're going to entrust the fate of the world to them? Yet they stand before us with the crystals. I cannot dismiss this as mere coincidence, even though the prophecy has been around for thousands of years. There's probably been a lot of people with rocks hanging around. Crystal bearers, there is a task I would ask of you. Will you not rescue my daughter, Sarah? You're not rapists, right?
You're
Like
not
none of you.
rapists.
Just promise me you won't do anything really mean to her when you... Oh, yes. Garland, a knight once in his majesty's service, has abducted Princess Sarah. Indeed. I ask for your aid in the name of his majesty, the king of Cornelia.
Cornelia. Dude, come on.
Cornelia.
No, actually, it could be pronounced either way.
Garland has taken refuge in the Chaos Shrine, which lies to our north.
Make it sound epic.
Of course, we did attempt to save the princess ourselves. ...
Except they all died.
But Garland is the finest swordman in the kingdom! We have none who can match him,
But can't
one
you
at
just,
a time.
Can't you, yeah, exactly. Like, can't you just gang up on him? Just like have a bunch of
That's what the 4 warriors of light are gonna do.
It's true. Actually, when you see him, his sprite is like 5 times their size. So maybe he's like a giant. a huge giant.
I've heard that you wish to journey to the continent. This is going to take a while for you to read everything.
Oh, I know.
I'm just going to read it really fast. To our north. The bridge leading north was lost long ago, making passage impossible. If you can... Oh,
Rip.
rescue my daughter. Go now. Do it.
Do
and
it.
do fail me. Do not fail me.
No, we want to fail, so we get nothing from him. Because
The warriors flight should have, like, lines.
lines? They don't even talk. They have no personality whatsoever.
You know what it is? The personalities are in their crystals. That's how they got them.
And they're gone.
Something to do with that backstory that they never got.
The backstory that they... It's true.
Have you heard there's this site called 8-Bit Theater that does this really funny satire of the original Final Fantasy using the original sprites, and it's the whole storyline of how the 4 Warriors of Light actually got together. It is hilarious. I don't know who wrote it. I can't remember. I read it when I was a kid, but I would recommend this to anybody who enjoys reading and playing video games, preferably at the same time.
Dude, I still have to read that. I know you suggested that to me a while ago, and I still haven't read that. How long is it?
It's like it's been forever.
These crazy horses are literally so annoying. Like, they, later in the game, they just, like, they struggle, and they just kill everyone. Yay! Leveled up. Dude, now these guys can... I think it's level 3. It's, like, the best time to just murder all of them. Murder all of the, Garland troops.
So preferably, we would grind and grind and grind and grind and be at a super crazy level when you fight Garland in the Chaos Shrine. But as fun as grinding is to people playing the game, the people watching will likely get bored. So we're going to do the grinding part off the air. We'll resume when we get back to the action in the next episode of Binge Brothers Z. The 4 Warriors of Light take on Garland and his army of insane peon goblin warmongers. And other such things.
That sounds like a plan.
Oh, golems.
Golems.
An entire army of golems is...
The precious is the precious. We want the crystals.
So yes, we will see you on the very next episode of Binge Bros.
Z.
Binge Bros Z.
BingeBros Z.
And if you like this episode, then do absolutely nothing. Don't touch any buttons. Don't subscribe to us. In fact, we would prefer it if you never watched us again and just left on a high note.
Yeah.
Because the other episodes, starting now, every episode we do is going to just get worse and worse and worse. And it'd be so much better if you could just remember us as we are now. As the youthful, happy, bright-eyed, hopeful people that started off this series with such big plans and never actually made it to Final Fantasy 13-2.
God, that game. That game.
Alright, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out, guys.